All right, so for those of us here in person, the format for this meeting would be we ask people to submit questions, complaints, queries online. So we have a couple of questions to address. We will, for those who have questions here now, we will take the questions at the end of the meeting from 10:30 to 11. The meeting is from 9 to 11, right? So from 10:30 to 11, we will address any questions.
Yeah.
For 9 o'clock, what will
Every time we should do start.
Got an agenda?
Yes,
Is it
we
that we're
do.
following something?
Yes, we have.
Yeah, we have basically just a PowerPoint presentation that we have up on the screen.
So
that we'll run through. Yeah.
Right. So the agenda is essentially to review the financial statements, review the current role of Occidental Investments, inspection of the completed and ongoing projects, general operations, development review process, security management, and any other items that the residents would like to us to address.
All right, so I think we should start. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, so good morning, everyone. Welcome to the first Samaan Grove Town Hall meeting, Homeowners Association meeting in a while. We know, yeah, because the last couple of days. No, not in here, yeah. And that's actually, this location was mainly due to Mr. Parker, because I know he was always asking for that. So we tried to facilitate it, and I thought it would be a good idea to have it back here at this time.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. As you would know, over like 2020, 2021, we couldn't do in-person meetings and stuff like that. So, that's, sorry, we apologize for that. And we are now trying, this is the first time we have a hybrid meeting like this. So we're trying this one to see how much participation we could get. Hopefully we get a lot more than what we normally get in person over the last years.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Who is taking the minutes?
Yeah, it's recorded. So in terms of minute taking, the entire meeting will be recorded and then shared to everyone afterwards, right? Just to introduce ourselves, I mean, I think I'm not seeing too much familiar faces, but as you all know, I'm Brent Prasad at 65. You all know Jillian Andrews, some of you.
Giselle McFarlane, I'm at 131, and I'm the Occidental representative for the board.
You're very brave to say that.
You should have one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Christian McKenzie, I'm at 111, but I hope to step down after this meeting.
I'm Karen Newman. I'm at 1B.
David Parker at lot 90.
Nisha Anna Smith, number 77. Ingrid Collier, number 13.
Ian Collier, 38.
Andres Hernandez, number 8.
Melody Graham, Representative Roy Henderson, 25 and 60.
Okay, I'm 65.
Right?
Okay. Representing 25.
And for those on the management committee, you can start off Hollywood Roy. You want to do stuff? Yeah, you need to unmute your mic.
Again, I'm feedback.
This one, lot 25 and lot 60.
Right. Nivea?
Yeah, Nivea Maraj, lot 119, to the end of the road.
Catherine?
Hi, it's Catherine Kenny, 57, somewhere in the middle.
Hi. Trisha, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, Trisha Bisessa Yarna, lot 74. Sorry, I didn't put on any makeup.
Pretty much
Neither did I.
for the management committee and also the members that we have here. For those of you joining us on Zoom, just to repeat, we will take your questions at the end of the meeting. We'll have you on mute throughout the meeting because we have the presentations that we want to go through. And then after, from 10:30 to 11, we can we'll address whatever questions and concerns that you all have. All right, so let us jump right into it. I'll try to freeze it here. All right, so we'll start with the finances, everyone's favorite. One second, let me just move it down here. And everyone can see the screen clearly, right? Or horizontally. I mean, if you want to come and sit up close in front, feel free to do so. Right? All right, so basically for 2022, we broke even as compared to 2021, and we will go into that in depth later on. And this was just because mainly due to an increase in maintenance of the common areas of Samaan. Right? If you could see the bottom screen, that's a whole one.
Oh, the slide 3. Slide 3.
You want to start it?
Yes,
Okay.
and then we go into that.
All right, so go back up on your picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So Jason, we'll just have some points ahead.
Yeah, so we'd like to present the financial statements audited by Sharon Ramata, FCCA LLP, of the accounts as presented by the Samaan Grove Committee as follows. For assets, our assets total 1.9 million in 2021, and in 2020 it was 1.955. In terms of equity, the equity moved from 1.790 in 2020 to 1.882 million in 2021. Total equities and liabilities, of course, would have moved from 1,955,000 to 1,915,000, of which 165,577 related to liabilities in 2020, and in 2021 our liabilities decreased to 33,150. So everybody heard, right? So our liabilities decreased from 165,577 to 33,150 in 2021. And our assets essentially increased decreased from 1.955 million to 1.950 million. Cash at bank amounted to 974,906 in 2020, and in 2021 increased to 1,209,022,000. Significant in this is the decrease in the receivables from homeowners. In 2020, the receivables was 733,491, and in 2021 it reduced to $474,839. Yes, there were prepaid expenses that was increased. It was previously in 2020 $10,580, and in 2021 it increased by $5,000 to $15,116. In terms of taxes, there is taxes prepaid of $15,840. So we did pretty well in the receivable section, where we significantly decreased the homeowners' receivables by almost 50%.
We can't ask questions of this.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. In terms of income, our income in 2020 was 1,699,852, and in 2021 it was $1,684,881. So a slight decrease. In terms of expenditure, our expenditure in 2020 was $1.6 million, $30,918. And in 2021, we had a decrease. We spent less, $1,564,780. So there was a decrease, and so it incurred an increased surplus for 2021. In 2020, the surplus was $68,934, and in 2020, sorry, my apologies, the surplus was $68,934, and in 2021, the surplus was $120,101. So again, another almost 50% increase in surplus. In terms of our, let me see if we had any in the reserves. in terms of our increase or decrease in cash and cash equivalents, in 2020, there was a negative $66,443. However, in 2021, we were at a surplus of $234,116. That was the difference, and the notes will give further details for each item on the income and expenses and the balance sheets if we need to provide further data. However, Brenda has a presentation that shows basically the movement over the years for most of the areas in the financial statements.
Which is basically the graphical representation of what GSL would have been explaining, right? So we're showing the income expenditure tracking where we broke even in 2022. This graph shows the breakdown for expenditure. As you will see for 2020, 2021, it was kind of similar. But then what we decided to do is increase the, increase the contracts with Eden Nurseries to manage the common areas a little better. And I mean, I would hope that everyone can notice it. There's a
Very good.
the aesthetic of Samaan Grove has improved a lot, right? And
Brent, can you? Sorry, Brent, can you go to the slide 3 for everyone online so we can see it?
Do you not see it online?
No, it's stuck on Samaan Grove on your screen.
Oh.
Just
Yeah.
on the map and see.
Okay. All right. Yeah. What I'll do, I'll just pull mine up at the moment so I can follow through.
It's up on the computer. Stop sharing and share.
Yep. That's good. Yeah.
Oh, stop no.
That's all right. That's okay. I have a copy, so it's just for anybody else who may not have a copy. They can work along with you.
Wait, something.
What happened is that it has 2 screens on yours, right? So it's actually sharing the.
And so that
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would probably actually this.
Did not see it.
Share.
All right, so let me share now.
Right.
Yeah.
It is okay.
No, is it close to top? No, I thought about which one to share.
1 second. Which one open back up here?
The PowerPoint, this goes that way.
Oh, so I need to open back up the one.
Yeah.
1 second.
The one is in the screen. So that's the one is in the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Hey, but Brent, while you're working on that, I'll just add a couple words to what you finished off on the maintenance costs for those who are new to the association or who may not be aware. 3 years or so ago, we had full-time staff.
I know.
Sorry, is it on?
Yeah, go ahead. All right, sorry.
Yeah, I was saying a couple of years ago, for those who may not know, we had full-time staff cutting the grass using incorrect farming equipment. We had a lot of damage to the properties, a lot of damage to water services, sunken and damaged water mains and so forth, and poor attendance by the full-time staff. So what we did a few years back, we went to an open tender, so a public tender. And the tender was to capture part of the lake works, the verges, the nature strip, which is between your front fence and the curbs, and all the vacant lots. And the contract prepared for the current contract is a performance-based contract. So they have to perform to the standards. And if they don't, well, we have methods of encouraging them to do their job, put it that way, if they want to stay employed. But it has been a big improvement.
Yeah, definitely. All right. All right, so let me do it. Great. Yeah. I guess we just wait for the PowerPoint to open up on my very slow laptop.
You can just keep going, Brad, if you're up to it.
Yeah.
Without it.
Actually open up right now. All right, so it should be good there.
What you see on your screen?
I see that.
You see that?
Yeah. All right, that's all. Let me just try from here now. All right, okay, good. It's still stuck, right?
Okay, so what
All
happened?
right, now we're good now. All right.
You good?
Yeah.
There you go. Perfect.
Great.
Thanks.
All right, nobody move. Okay. Right, so onto the expenditures, where you can see the gray bar would be repairs and maintenance, and as we said, that's due to the increase in contracts to Eden Industries, right? And what Roy was talking about earlier, where from 2005 to 2019, we had this large salary bill, right? This is where we would have had, for those who remember, Lee and Shirley cutting the grass, and we were having issues in terms of Mark as well. We were having issues in terms of consistency. There was the wrong equipment being used, and that's when we took the decision. Listen, we end the employment and we moved to a contract basis with Eden Industries, which is, as you know, a professional landscaper, and that's when we started to see the major difference in the aesthetic. Right? Right. Receivables, as you all know, receivables is usually always an issue in terms of collecting from homeowners and whatnot. Over the last year or two, Gillian has done a lot of excellent work in terms of bringing the receivables down. I would say it's a twofold. One, Gillian has been after a lot of the more delinquent homeowners in terms of paying off their debts. And also, we have had a lot of resales recently within the community. Resales recently within the community. So you want to sell your house, you want to sell your lot of land, and as you know, once you're selling, you need to pay off it in full before. So that helped us a lot, right? And point to mention as well with the recent amount of resales, I think that kind of ties into a point we'll touch on later down in terms of encouraging developments in the community with regards to getting more houses built. Because the more houses built is more revenue generated for us. And what it will also do now is cut down the cost of the common spaces, the industry contract. So now have to cut down, and we could kind of redirect those costs to other areas as well, right?
Right. So one other point with the receivables is that credit check is now part of our system, and credit check brought in 75,000 children.
This year, yeah.
The number of persons that remain outstanding in terms of the receivables, is 11 persons with balances over $20,000
Each.
average of. Yeah, well, anybody whose balance is over 20,000 amounts to 11 persons in total.
Yeah, so we still have a couple that we.
So we have under the 20,000, but over 20 is 11 persons, 11 residents.
Can I ask the question, what is being done about it? Are you doing anything about it?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, we've given them, given some pre-action protocol letters. We have credit checks after them. Gillian follows up with them. This is why before you came in, we were showing that where we actually brought the receivables. If you look at the graph for 2021 and 2022, the receivables dropped quite a lot. So you can see that there is active work being done on it.
Almost 50%.
So you're taking questions now?
Right. So what you wouldn't have known because you just came in is that what we're doing is we're asking questions that you have.
First and questions
So we're doing the
after.
presentation now, and any questions you have, we'll take them after between 10:30 and 11. Yeah.
I just want to suggest the next time we have a meeting to let people know what time, because I was told 9:30.
Oh, I thought it was 9 on the.
I thought it was coming early.
The invite at 9. The emails at 9.
Well, I didn't get one.
Okay.
All right, so sorry. Yeah.
Duly noted.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right, cash in bank. As of right now, we have a little over 1.2 million in our account, so we are healthy, right? We are very healthy right now, right? And that's because we try to be as prudent as possible with the spending. Most of you will have noticed we had some projects ongoing away last year or two.
We had someone?
Projects, some in terms of aesthetics and safety. One of those you would notice a pretty sizable refurbishment of the guard boots in terms of we repainted the guard boots. We cut out all the bad parts of the roofing and repaired it and changed it up. We also did a nice piece of landscaping to the front and back of the guard boots. Which I must say, I mean, no one from Eden is here, but I was very concerned when he gave me the timeline for it, because I think it was around Easter, and I told him I didn't want any work done around Easter when it was a busy period. And he said, no, we'll get it done. And when he showed me what he wanted, I said, well, there's no way this could get done. And within a day or two, it was done, and which I was very impressed with.
It was very good.
Yeah, and they maintained it very well as well, so thanks Eden for that. The installation of razor wire along the entire southern boundary wall. We know in the past we had incidents with people jumping walls and using pools, that kind of stuff. And that wall, I mean, there's a whole area of garden land behind that wall, and it's very easy to access Samaan Grove from that wall. So we decided to take the steps to kind of secure it, you know, as much as we could. Down to the end, the house with the gates from the side. All right, so 8B, which is down to the end, we even put in a small gate between the house and the wall so that no one could access it, right? But if we need to get in there to do any clearing of the joints and stuff, we can still access it, right?
Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, most of us. I know that was yeah.
But having said that, sorry.
Okay. I appreciate it. We also did a major refurbishment of the bridges. I know a lot of you walk, right? The wooden railings would have started to rot pretty badly. It started to get pretty bad. So we had you guys come in and cut them and repair them. The lampposts, we rubbed them down, took out the rust out, we painted the lampposts as well, which ties into a project that we will discuss shortly in terms of we want to do a refurbishment of the lighting in Samaan Grove, because you know during the night it's dark, right? It's dark. Yeah. So
where I am, it's terrible.
yeah. And one part of the issue is that I think when the community was developed initially, they didn't put enough lampposts.
We put on one side.
Yeah, we only put on one side first off because the electricals run on one side. And then it's spaced out pretty far apart, right?
True.
I'm not gonna jump into if we could even put more lampposts. I don't even want to touch on that right now. But what we want to touch on is probably looking at over in B, phase B, opposite a little bit after Mr. Parker. You would see that we have a different shade and light on that post.
Yeah.
That's actually a test light that we have run for a couple of years, and it's the range of light that you get there is fantastic.
Starting the board.
But after 4 to 5, it was about 4 to 5 years, yeah. So we got, I would think, yeah, and that's LED. So what we're looking at is engaging that company, and we will get other quotations as well, but engaging that company, get a comprehensive quote to probably change all the rest of lights in Samaan Grove. To something like that, because I think that might help to brighten up the area a lot more. Yeah.
Yeah, Brent, it'll save a lot of cost and maintenance as well.
Yeah, correct. Oh yeah,
I think the green post, well, a big improvement.
yeah, and also what we should note as well is those new lights we're going to switch out to be going LED, because now, whereas in the previous years it wasn't under that light bill wasn't under us. It is now under us. That's why you would see certain meters, new meters installed along the roads. So we put that bill now. So definitely once we change all that, we go in LED, it will be a reduced electrical cost as well.
And the solar lights are.
No, the solar wasn't working out. We're not getting the span. We wanted to go solar initially, one, because it's green. Two, in case of let's just say there's a hurricane and you don't have power for a day or two, but we tested different solar lights and the range really is probably worse than what we have now, so it's not practical. Right? Right. You all will notice that you will notice quite a few broken manhole covers right now. Right, that's due to the increase in construction, because a lot of times the trucks turn and they reverse and they break the manhole cover and stuff. The reason that we have them caution tape around them now is not because they're not being repaired, what we are doing is we're moving away from a concrete manhole system to a steel-plated manhole system so that it wouldn't break as easily as the concrete. We have already engaged, we sent out for quotes and everything, we selected a contractor, and we hope it's actually being manufactured now. So we hope within probably like a week or two, he will start to come in and install. Not all, but the ones that are broken so far, we will replace those, and then as we go along, because it don't make sense just replacing something that is working perfectly well right now, right? We also did the refurbishment of the main gates. We took down the gates, we sent them to get rust treated, got the rust out, and we painted and changed all the broken pieces and stuff, so the gate looks pretty good now. Right. We also increased the amount of signage that we have throughout the association in terms of speed bumps, slow down, K-ones and lake, that kind of stuff, warning signs. We started also a maintenance contract with the speed bumps in terms of repainting the speed bumps because, as you know, they're a bit high, right? For those with cars, one to the SUVs already have to.
Those are the ones that are very low.
Yeah. But yeah, because of the height, you know, and normal wear and tear, the paint wears off. So now what we're looking at is probably once a year, or for the most twice a year, have the speed bumps repainted so that we want them as highly visible as possible.
But they be done in fluorescent or some sort of
well, that actually is reflective paint, right? So the paint that we use, the paint that we use actually has crushed glass in it, so that they get the reflective. Well, that's what we were told. Yeah. So that when we purchased it, they call it road marking paint. That's what we use, right? What we also doing is we updating the policies and procedures for the development review committee. That will be the committee that's anyone who wants to build and they bring their plans. We will review it and then approve it, right? I think part of the problem that we have now is that a lot of people trying to come in with different designs, right? And it's a challenge to maintain the look and feel of Samaan Grove with all these different modern designs. Right, so we actively working on that. We have a few ideas on that that we'd like to put forward. But when you have something more concrete, then we present it to everyone, right? But there is a slight backlog with regards to approvals, but we starting to clear that backlog thankfully now, right? And that's largely due to Roy. Roy is the head of that committee. I'm on that committee as well. Sharice was on it as well, but as you all know, Sharice left. So Roy has been working really double time to clear that backlog, right?
That is a crucial thing in this one.
Yeah, actually, Brent, I think as far from my perspective, they've all been cleared, the main ones, including the last one from this week.
Right. Something that we want to touch on, and something that I'm very excited about, is the website development. As most people know, there is a Samaan Grove website. Most people never even visit the website. What we are looking to do is revamp that entire website. So we are working with a company, One Channel, and what we're doing is they're actually going to do a demo at around 10:15. The aim is this: our website should be the go-to place for anyone wanting to stay Samaan Grove, right? So from the time you say, listen, I want to stay today, we heard about Samaan Grove. That website is where you should be getting all the information, right? As a renter or vacationer, you go there, you can see what we want to do is encourage homeowners now. We're going to have a section where you can advertise your home, just like how you have it on Airbnb, that kind of stuff, but without the payment option. You advertise your home for a fixed fee for the year, and then people can select from there, whatever. That will allow the website to generate revenue, right? Also, once that starts to pick up, we want to have advertisements on the website as well. So local business owners, restaurants have advertisements on the website, so they know that people go in there to look for housing places to stay. You see in your restaurant there, they come in there to eat, that kind of stuff, and it will be a revenue generating tool for us, right? In addition to that, we are going to have a section for homeowners to log in. So you create a username and a password, you log in, and then you can see your statements. If you're owing when was the last payment, you can see audited financials, confidential, stuff like that, right? So you don't have to be guessing at any point in time, right? Yeah. Also, there will be a section for the rules and regulations for Samaan Grove, right? So you as a renter, you have someone saying, you send them that link. Now, no one can say that they didn't know You can't play music past 10 o'clock. You can't drive this speed, a certain speed, that kind of stuff, right? And on top of that as well, you want to build in Samaan Grove. These are the documents that you need. Also, we are moving towards a digital age, if you want to call that. You can now submit your documents online. So you don't need to be using all this paper, send it up, mail it up to Tobago. If you're based in Trinidad, you go onto the website, you fill out the form, you fill out all the necessary forms. There's a section to upload your documents as well, your house plans, whatever, and we get them. And we have it stored digitally now. So we expect that will increase efficiency a lot.
Right.
Yeah. Well, we touched on Eden Mysteries, basically with regards to their pruning and the products that they're doing. Right. Waka Waka Landscaping, Ronald, right? He has been maintaining the lakes and some of the roadways as well. I know that there would have been over the last couple of weeks over the lilies seem to be growing at a very high rate, and that is usually due to rainy season. So there's something that we experience yearly coming down towards the end of rainy season because of the influx of water from the villages. They bring in nutrients, and you tend to get a higher than usual overgrowth in the ponds. So Ronald is aware, and he is working to clear it. Before, when he had the contract initially, it was just him alone. We spoke to him about it. We reworked the contract, and it's now himself and another person, another guy as well. So I think they kind of on a pretty good schedule with regards to clearing the lakes. And if they are not, I'm sure we will hear about it after, right, from you guys, right? Right. The annual.
So, sorry, can I stick my hand up? Brent,
Yeah.
can I just have a quick chat about the lakes?
Sure, yeah.
Seeing as you were on that, hold on, I'm getting. Do is walk the lakes with Ronald once a month just to keep him on top of anything. What I would remind homeowners is please don't engage with Ronald, and if you have anything that you want Ronald to do, please chat to us, put it on the customer, send an email. Just the problem is we only have so much time with Ronald in the lakes, and a lot of homeowners engage with him and he runs out of time, and so things don't necessarily get done that need to get done. So it's just a little reminder, if you all have any worries or concerns, just send an email to the customer service, and I promise we will get on top of it with Ronald. It's just a way of freeing him up so that he can get his attention where it needs to be. So I just wanted to reiterate that point. Sorry, I'll go away now.
Good.
Thank you.
All right, thanks for that option. Right, OIL. As you all know, OIL, they basically control any legal decisions that we would have to make. What we have been trying to do over the last few years is get complete ownership of Samaan Grove by SGCAL, right? Complete autonomy. All right, I just noticed. It's not as simple as you would think, because it's not like two private companies dealing with each other. OIL is owned by Buko Golden Grove, that's it, which is managed by the Ministry of Finance, right? So trying to get in front of them is extremely difficult. I mean, I'm sure Ian could right. So that's something that we have been always trying to do. However, with the recent addition of SGCAL McFarlane as the director, we hoping to make a bit more progress now, right? She might have the necessary contact, hopefully, where we could kind of have a sit down with them and explain to them, some of the costs that we've been incurring, some of the problems that we've been having, So the flooding at the end of Samaan Grove to the gate, anytime rain falls, that is as a direct result of oil, because of the fact that the land beyond the gate needs to be clear, the drains need to be done properly, and they're not doing it, and it's causing a back of water into our developments, right? So we need to talk to them about that, right? We hoping I don't like to give time frames because of these government agencies, but we hoping within the next couple of months that we can have a sit down with them and have some meaningful discussion on our way forward, right? The same also goes for WASA as well, I just want to note. Because as you all know, WASA now controls the lift stations. Before we had control of the lift stations, but because of the entire plan that they have for the island, and with regards to, even it goes as far back as the health of Boko Reef, all of that, WASA is now in control of the lift stations, right? And the lift stations are very old. They're very old, they need servicing, the generator is not working properly. So we tried to schedule a meeting with WASA where we could plot the way forward and have some solid, because we don't want that we out of power for a day or two. It's not going to be a pretty situation inside of here. So we have outfits and we're just trying to it's just a matter of trying to get in front of the correct people right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so also another point to note, the lease rent payments for A-lots, right? The association no longer bills the annual lease rent for A-lots, and Occidental.
What? I don't understand.
But the just the normal one.
This side of it.
So,
Right. Yeah, so not fail me that from the garden basically go down to the gate, this entire stretch, right? All properties are not. You all need to be paying the lease rents to Occidental Investments Limited, right? Is a $1,000 a year fee, right? And everybody normally forgets it until you need to sell or you need to do something like that. But they are a lot of people actually, you would be surprised, don't pay that, right? They are now getting their accounting. OIL is now getting their accounting in order, so they will be engaging with delinquent homeowners, right? Right, and tying back into that OIL ownership, for those who are going to ask about the access to no man's land, as you all know, that land is owned by OIL now. So because of the whole proposed Sandals development that was supposed to happen, so that's why they cut off access to us. The land, as far as I know, is still being maintained by OIL, the driveway down to no man's land. So once we have that meeting, once we can get the meeting with OIL, that is definitely a point of discussion that we want to bring up with them to try to regain access.
You trying to go down there, police chase you out.
Yeah, police chases you out now.
Assistant Commissioner Police chase me out.
Yeah. Well, I think the reason they do that. What I was told is that down to the end, almost right before no man's land, has become a bit of a hotspot for crowds coming in to bring in certain packages, right? I'm not gonna say what, I would just say what I was told. So that's why they kind of don't want anyone down there as well, right? And that's as much as I know. If we get back access, then that's our next issue that we would need to discuss. Do we want to go down there knowing that there's that type of activity now, or probably manage the hours and stuff like that? But once we think it's just to get the access first, and then we can figure out those things afterwards, right?
I remember the porters who had the access last night.
Yeah.
Trucks and drivers, all hours of the day and night.
All right, so getting back to the development review process that we touched on earlier, this chart just basically shows the number of constructed homes in orange versus the number of vacant lots versus the number under construction. So we kind of get into the point where probably within the next year or two, the number of constructed homes will be more than the number of vacant lots, right? Which is what we kind of hoping for. And as I said, because of the amount of resales, a lot of the resales that we're seeing, people they're not just buying the land because they want to have land. They're actually buying the land because they want to build, which is most of the older investments was just people buy it and looking to sell it back later down. That's happening now.
Yeah,
Now sell and people want to start to build. Right. Well, as you all know, we know the general aesthetic for Samaan Grove. All right, and that's about it on our end for the presentation. All right, so
That's pretty quick.
Right, Roy, have anything to add?
Yeah, just a couple of things for the residents. What we try to do from, the biggest cost we have is security and maintenance of the development. And you would notice from the graphs Brent has presented and the numbers Giselle went over, we have increased spending on maintenance. And what we are putting in place is not just a reactive solution to problems, but we are going through like a recurrent maintenance program. So certain things need to be done every quarter, every year, every 6 months. In addition to that too, we had issues with the manholes. When I came on the committee, I think 3 years ago, we had concrete manholes in place without proper steel, terribly built, too heavy to even move. So what we've done, again, is value for money. So just keep that in mind. It has to be value for money. So what we've done a design for the manhole covers, for an example, and that's designed so that something is built so that if a car parks in it, it's not going to fall through, and it can last 20, 30, 40 years. So and for an example, instead of building something that's going to last 1 year, and then we go back and try it again and do something that lasts 2 years, we're trying to do it so it lasts 10, 15, 20 years. So we don't waste the association's money, because just like you, I'm paying 2 sets of fees every year, and I want to see value for the money and where it's going. So we are trying to put things in place where it's more streamlined. So it's a work in progress. But this is where the feedback from the residents is important. If there are things like you got the maintenance cost, but then we have to talk about CapEx programs. There'll be new things to be built. That's going to cost money. So the feedback from the residents are critical, where there's something that you guys might think is good to have, put it forward and let's discuss it, cost it, and see whether it's going to benefit the community. So just to give you an idea of what we're looking at long term, it's not a reactive procedure. It's very strategic in that sense. We're trying to get more strategic going forward.
One thing that definitely needs to be discussed, and we didn't discuss it as yet, security cameras.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah, very important.
Yes, yep.
As you all would have known, we started a project to put security cameras throughout Samaan Grove. I was a project 2 years ago. We sent out for quotations. We got quotations, and Sigma Securities they were selected. They came and did a presentation at one of the homeowners meeting when we had it in Lions, right? They started off pretty good. They put up the equipment. We had cameras through us. We have cameras through us. We use a wireless option, because to wire the entire Samaan Grove the cost was going to be astronomical. So he suggested a wireless. We went with that. Coming down towards the end of the project, though, we started to encounter a lot of problems with Sigma. And it has become apparent that I think this project, they were in over their heads a little bit, a little too much. And they can't seem to complete or to get us to the level where we want, right? We have paid for the equipment that we have purchased. And in terms of his installations, we are still with him. We didn't pay him off. It's not a case where we paid him off and then he didn't finish the work or anything like that. We were paying him in tranches. So I think he completed like 80% of the work, but we only paid him up to 65%. And we negotiated with him now. But what we are doing right now is an independent audit into the cameras, where we have 2 companies based in Tobago. One of them is Dean Black. I'm not too sure if you're right, exactly. So he is now doing audits into the camera system to see exactly why we can't have all of the cameras up and running 27. We normally have probably about 80% of the cameras up and running. So he is logging. One of the issues that he couldn't even log into the equipment you need to log into the equipment to see certain information. We wouldn't get any passwords and stuff from Signal. We eventually got them. So now, out of last week, he was logged into everything, and he said his report should be completed by the end of this week coming here. And he is going to let us know what exactly we need to do. Based on the discussion with him so far, as you all saying, he seems to be the best, and he knows exactly. Yeah, he knows, and he deals with this equipment, because this wireless equipment for the cameras is a very specific type of equipment. So we just waited to get his report, and then we will take the steps necessary to complete that project.
And the cameras are for the north boundary as well?
Yeah, so we're going to do the cameras. We already started putting up the poles for the north boundaries, and simple as
northern.
yeah.
Sorry, no, yeah, the northern boundaries. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
northern
and
boundaries.
simple and it's simple things as and you need to be on top of these guys so much. When installing the poles on the northern boundary, that was under Sigma's contract. He was doing the wrong size poles. The base wasn't being done properly, you know. So, and as far as I can tell, all of those things are breach of contract, right? Just do the job proper, and you know. So that's why we stopped it and said, listen, let's get someone who knows what they're doing. And I am happy that the block is based in Tobago, because one of the major issues that we had with Sigma as well is something is wrong. Well, I can't get a flight, you know, I can't get a sailor taking a while to come up, that kind of nonsense. So once, if we decide to move forward with Dean, then we know we can have a maintenance contract in place and everything like that. So we'll have everything up and running smoothly. Yeah.
One thing, is it true from what I heard? This camera here has to see the next camera. If that next camera can see the third camera down by Flamboyant Avenue, then the communication breaks down.
No, not something similar, but not the cameras not need to see each other, but you'll see antennas, not on every on every whole property, on certain posts, those antennas need to connect with each other, right? And that's why you will see a little increased pruning activity, because if branches block the line of sight, then you will get that. But the camera, the only thing that would block the line of sight would be branches. Not to say the cameras low down or the antennas that low down that somebody could just pass and block it or anything like that. So that's why we actually have a maintenance contract in place with the pruning company, so that we don't experience that problem. So that's just a problem that we could easily fix. So that's fine. It's just right now, I think it's more like a software issue with the cameras. So that's what Dean is trying to figure out. Yeah. So we hoping within about a month we could have everything up and running to the level where we want it.
A month including the north boundary. North boundary is totally for us as well.
Yeah, well, yeah, but this 1 month I'm talking about is to finish the audit and have the existing cameras up and running. What we want to do is nail this down properly, rather than say, okay, well, let's start to install on the northern boundary, but we still don't have the cameras on the roadway working. Let's do this, have it up and running, make sure, all right, well, yeah, do you know what he's doing? Whoever doesn't know what they're doing, and now we could complete the northern boundary. Yeah. But we have all the equipment and everything, so just to figure it out and then start installing. Yeah.
So Brent, yeah, Brent, just to interject, just to reconfirm so everyone understands, the audit is being conducted. Once the audit is completed, then we will roll out the northern boundary cameras. Is that correct? And then commission everything to work functional, and then again come back to what I say: a recurring maintenance contract with this provider, so we don't have breakdowns. And
I think we broke up a little bit there, but yeah, we just what you're saying.
Yep.
And just further to add to the cameras, and at every homeowner meeting, I always ask this: if possible, one of the things that we would appreciate as a community, if you have a security light that you can install to the back of your property or to the side of your property to light up the area behind you to the side of you. I have done it. The house next to me, my parents, they have done it, right? I know a couple of you all have noticed that as well. The lighting helps. One, it helps the cameras, it helps the security guards see if anybody is there. And I mean, now these LED lights, they really don't burn that much electricity, right? The cost might just be to just get an electrician to come and install it for you. It's not that, it shouldn't be that difficult. If it isn't, we're asking all homeowners, just please do it as a, for yourself and for the community.
Yep.
Yeah, so we can.
I think the guard booth, the guard should face inside the compound and not guard road outside.
That would be a little trickier because of the design of the garden.
I know, but
Yeah.
they should be looking into the compound.
Yeah, well, that's why we kind of hoping once the cameras up and running, they would be able to see everything, so it will kind of eliminate that. But to do that, you're talking about there's a complete. You see, behind where the gas sits, there's a bathroom there.
Yeah.
So
But that's crazy.
yeah, well, I mean, that was. You know, I hate to be the guy to say I meant it like that, but that's how it was at the start of it. And unless we break down the garden and totally redesign it, which I don't think anybody wants right now, I think the best way forward would be to have a camera system that's functioning properly, and that should kind of help with that. Because as you know, you asked, there is a good point with where the monitor was located, so we moved the monitor now. So you know, we
So
kind of
see
see that, yeah.
But is it that they can see when the cameras are all installed?
Mhm.
They can see people walking on a property, or is it purely recorded? So post the event, they would see it.
No, they see it live. They would be able to see it live, and it's recorded as well.
But right now, it's not live.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes, it is.
No, but nobody's seeing over the cameras. The screen was behind us. That was
yeah.
Because it's not walking by.
I see nobody by me.
And the fellas walking down.
You can see all people walking in.
You've been out like over us every week.
The brass,
That's it.
there was a man walking in and out.
Well, the thing about it is, in terms of a yard, you'll be able to see the cameras along the roadway, right? Because we can't put the cameras facing into anybody's yard
No, right.
because of privacy concerns, right? But you'll also be able to see along the roadway. If somebody walk into the back of your house or the side of your house, really and truly, the onus on you to put a camera system here. I mean, we can monitor every single yard.
And I tried to put in the road by me, at my expense, and some director blocked it.
To put your
I
own camera.
put in my yard, it might not be very
Right.
nice looking, but I tried to do it
Yeah.
properly.
Right, so if you put in your yard, that's fine, because then that would set the precedent. If everybody now comes and say, we want a camera facing our house, or we want to put a camera here, we want to put a camera here, it's going to get congested system, number one, and it's not practical.
So for me, in other words, if a private thing, if just using your post, but a private thing for me, in other words, I could catch people sleeping on my food and stuff.
Right.
But if you're needed to see the film or whatever, you have to wait with, you know.
Right, no, I understand where you're coming from, but then what I said, that opens us up to now. Everyone would be, that we can't refuse them, anyone wanted to put a camera on any post anywhere. And that is going to kind of congest, get things congested there. So we could discuss it, but I'm not too sure how practical that might be. The most you could probably do is put it on your property and face it down to the problem areas.
That's not
We
good.
can discuss how the non-boundary cameras will be positioned and what use they will be to the homeowners as such.
Right, so what we try to
Something
do,
like that.
yeah, so we have a couple areas along the northern boundary that we know are more porous than others. We cannot, so it'll be almost impossible to have the entire northern boundary, right?
Say that again, sorry.
So it'll be almost impossible to have cameras along the entire northern boundaries. What we will do is put the cameras, place them in areas that we know are more porous than others, especially areas where we know the hunters normally pass, that kind of stuff, where there's a little walkway over there, and then we will engage mainland security now after that is up and running to kind of keep an eye on the areas that's not under camera control.
That's fine, but it really will.
Well,
The
there's
relative
like
of
this.
cameras, if it can span the entire boundary, howsoever, without the element of trees.
Right. No, the trees is fine because we have a pruning system in place. I mean, what we could do is once we have the northern boundary cameras up and running, then we could have a next meeting and say, listen, all right, we think we need to add 10 more cameras. We think we need to add 15 more cameras to have it up and running, right? So we can look at that, but let's get it up and running first, what we have, and then take it from there.
I just want to know what the cameras are supposed to do on the northern boundary. That's all I need to know.
It's just more for monitoring. So in terms of, especially in the night, if anybody passes, the guards should be able to pick it up on the cameras. If anybody is passing there in the night, they should be able to pick it up.
Along that boundary.
Yeah.
What I wanted to ask, just a little thing, hunters, they're allowed to walk all over with guns and everything in Tobago.
Yeah, as far as once it's hunting season.
Once it's hunting season.
Yeah,
Even on private property.
No.
They can't walk on the private property, right? So they can't.
Occidental owns all that.
Yeah,
property, so it's
yeah.
private property.
Well, so it will be on Occidental to tell them.
Once they don't
Yeah.
come in.
Yeah, once they don't come in. So we can't stop them from walking on Occidental property.
They
The most
have
we
to
could,
stop.
yeah, the most we could do is suggest to them that listen, we've noticed an increase in foot traffic on this in these areas. Put up signage, you know,
I
but
thought that hunters are not allowed to come near residential areas with guns and everything.
not that I mean I don't
I
know
don't
the laws like that,
know.
but yeah, as far as I know, we can't stop them from walking there. And I know that most of the guns that they use would be the air guns, the air rifles and stuff like that. So I don't know the exact laws pertaining to that, but I don't think we can stop them from walking on that.
Because I've seen this week, I've had fellas walking right back by my back
Yeah.
with rifles and everything.
Yeah. So as much as we could do, we could just suggest
I just
that.
want to know if you knew the rules. I don't know.
Yeah. All right.
You see, part of where we have this pressure is that you have a boundary wall with no wire. The north boundary has nothing.
Yeah.
And when they dug the road, they put it was up.
Yeah, pipe, yeah.
Now you have a truck that pass in there easy.
No, it is.
And nobody will ever-
Yeah, but they blocked it off, huh? The top? It can totally block off. You can't drive it. Yeah, you can't access it. But you can walk it. You can walk it very easily.
You can walk anywhere there.
Yeah.
You don't walk.
Yeah. So, but that's something that we wouldn't be able to stop. Most we could do is suggest to OL, inform them of it and hope that they take action on it, which based on the previous years,
It has nothing.
that might
Yeah,
not.
it'd be great if you're walking back there, we could pull out what they call it.
College.
Balloon or something.
College.
No, not college. This one was the one for you, not.
We can't
Well, maybe
put,
that's,
we can't put up signs, cameras in use or no hunting or something like that, just as a deterrent.
we could probably put it up on our side of the yeah.
But we're not doing that for donkey.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I don't think that's gonna stop them.
No, but the point being, it's a good point. And the truth is that anything that could help
Yeah.
would be welcome because it really is totally for us.
All right.
Totally. We sit up
Yeah.
and just wonder one night.
Brent,
Yeah, right.
Brent, quick question. Was that Ian? Was that you speaking there? I can't see you. I saw someone. I can hear your voice. I agree with that comment because my property is facing the lake at number 60. And I think what's really critical is we do an analysis of line of sight once the audit is completed, and then we can look at the gaps that's on the northern boundary and address that separately once we get the line of sight cameras up, because it is a concern on the northern boundary. And yeah, the signage, we can put some signage up because it all helps. It may not stop them, but it stops them.
It has.
But I think
So we can put that down as a item.
just even having them up there, even if they're not working, people know. So I know from beef, they tend to stay quite far away from my property now. It's just this hunters this week were right on the boundary. But normally they go far, so I could see them moving, but they're not very close to the house, and that has happened since the cameras
There
are
will
on.
be signs on Occidental across the pond. Because when they put two on this side, people complain that they were all idle. Idle is
So apparently as well, and this is pretty new information as well to me. Part of the development, the approvals for the entire development, not just Samaan Grove, the entire development. But as you know, we are a small part of a bigger development, right? Part of the approvals was to allow access for crab catchers and hunters to access that area to pass. So-
Catchers don't carry guns.
Yeah, no, but yeah,
But that was really until you guys are there.
Yeah. But then they got,
Yeah.
so they can't pass it, it's just as we said, they just can't come onto the individual properties, right? Yeah. But I don't think we have really had problems with any of the hunters per se, so
No,
it's
it
just,
just looks threatening.
yeah, you don't know, now we can't tell these years. Yeah. All right, so I think we probably just open up to some person, right? All right, so you'll, we can probably kind of open up the questions a little more now. I know you all have some, we jotted down. Ian, I see you reaching for your notes.
Checking the notes.
Yeah.
Cuttings. Please to dump cuttings.
Yeah, that's something that
Please.
we have been trying to figure out. As you all know, we've been trying on a Wednesday to pick up clippings. The problem that we're having is for the trees, the trees and stuff. Yeah, the birdseed bags. And to use bigger bags is a bit of a problem because then the bags become so heavy, they can't get it up onto the truck, right?
And they don't bring them up.
Yeah, and they don't bring them back. That's the next thing.
Correct.
Right? So I think Catherine? Catherine? Oh, Sheila? Okay.
No, Catherine's there.
Oh, I am, sorry, I'm just.
That's fine.
As well as listening.
So you want to touch on the issue of the clippings?
Okay, sure, hold on, let me get a video going. Hi, good morning again, no, good afternoon as we're heading that way. Clippings, well, we've been having a little issue with clippings at the moment, as Brent has said, in that there are a few things that jar, right? We've got this guy who comes and collects clippings on a Wednesday, which is great, but to us, it's not good enough because for him to collect it, it's got to be in a plastic bags, and that kind of totally kills. I mean, my thing for 2023 is to make Samaan Grove a much greener, more environmentally friendly place. So putting your clippings, your garden clippings in a plastic bag does not quite fit that bill. So hold on, I'm in a meeting, sweetheart. Granny is dealing with you. So unfortunately, what we're trying to do is we were looking at canvas bags. Charisse was on the challenge with me where we were looking at smaller canvas bags that you can fill, he can take away and then bring back your canvas bag. Hold on, we're walking on the move. Nope, sweetheart, I'm in a meeting. So the idea is we have reached out to Occidental to find a few places that we could maybe use as dumping sites so that it does not affect, the resale of empty lots and other people's properties. We're still waiting and negotiating, trying to figure that out with them. It's a slow process, as Brent explained earlier, that getting in front of people is not so easy. So we've put a whole document together and we're hoping that that goes through, in the sort of next quarter. And then until then, my thing is bear with us. We will try and organize the better way of collecting your clippings. But until then, please be mindful that, people are trying to sell or resell their empty lots. So when you do have your garden waste cut, do not dump it on the empty lot next door to you, because it looks unsightly and it really does affect people's attempt to resell that land. Really? So we just have to say, please bear with us. Please be mindful of your neighbors and the obviously the effect that your clippings will have on them. And I mean, get them carted away. At the moment, that's what I'm doing. I mean, it doesn't look great, but we do a massive cutback. We pile it up at the front of the house and I pay for a guy to come and cart it all away. Gardeners can only take so much. Gardeners are struggling where they can dump their clippings. And so you're finding certain lots are being used as or targeted as dump sites. So we're trying really hard to avoid that. And yeah, give me the next quarter to try and get on top of it. But we're not thrilled with the whole putting clippings in plastic bags. We're trying to get back on top of that. And we're also trying to initiate a whole recycling structure for this year. So watch this space. We will get back to you on it.
Could you consider on your website putting up a little blurb there as to who people can call, their truckers?
Right, yeah, definitely, yeah.
And okay, if it's up to the individual that he has to do that for bigger stuff, so be it.
Yeah.
It's like $400 a month.
Whatever the
That's
works
a
out.
lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It can't be free for free,
Right.
But if you have just small cuttings, right, but if you're cutting down a tree, you shouldn't.
Yeah, you
expect
should.
everybody
Yeah.
You're responsible.
Yeah.
You're responsible for that tree.
I would think that's the best thing. That's one of the smartest things. You're responsible for that, and then afterwards, now you just maintain, right? And once you maintain, and you should be able to fit it into 2 jumbo bags
Exactly.
every Wednesday. I mean,
Farm branches, you just can't cut and put it up.
yeah. So-
The other thing is, a lot of you guys use the same gardening guys. So, you know, if your gardener guy and your 2 houses up the road gardening guy is cutting and doing a major trim back, you know, get them talking, get them, or if you're all using the same guy, agree on a day and get someone, you know, share the cart away fella who costs 400. If everyone puts in 100, he can take probably 3 or 4 lots, you know.
And this is good. I think publicize it. But we have only 5 people in the whole of Samaan Grove here. It's the rest of them who are not here.
Yeah.
We'll
Well,
just-
actually, we've and one of the reasons that I'm glad that we had this meeting in Tobago as well is because we were able to do a drive-through this morning, Giselle, myself, and Julian, and identify a couple of problem areas in Samaan Grove, and also identify the lots. I mean, it's only obvious when you see a lot with clippings and branches piled on it, which house it's coming from. Is the one right next to it, right? Because it's the same branches, the same trees and everything. So we were able to identify those properties, and we are going to start writing them now. We've reached out to some of them, but we're going to start actually writing them warning letters now that they're in breach and they need to remove and stop this kind of activity. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Respect to Sharice. What are the plans to replace?
Right.
Oh, registries that.
Whatever.
No, well, Sharice, because of very personal reasons, she had to leave.
Okay, but then reasons.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
Yeah.
Sharice replaced what?
She was good.
Right.
And one of the problems that we faced was, or we were made to understand, is that the manager, I use the word manager, that may not be the word right word, but somebody who is in control of the development on a day-to-day basis, where we can make contact with and get reparations.
Yeah.
I believe that that individual never really was provided with the power, the authority to conduct the basics, and they don't have the wherewithal to do so either. That may not be true. I'm just assuming that.
Right.
But the point being is that because of history, the intention was to have somebody who could make decisions, who knew plans, who knew about construction, who had a good understanding of, because that's the balance of somebody.
Yeah.
And if that is not there, then the whole process gets stymied. So for instance, we can't do this because we have to get 3 bids. Fair enough. But if there is somehow some condition where the individual could make a decision based on up to $5,000 or whatever.
Yeah, and that is exactly what was done. So in the case of the last,
5,000.
there was a limit of 5,000, so she could have spent she was so anything over 5,000 needed approval, right? Once it's under 5,000, she will still bring it to us, right, to let us know. But we have accounts set up at all of the major hardwares. And I think the major one is Dave. Dave's hardware. What's the name of the hardware? I don't remember. But we have so we have an account set up there. And Sharice was authorized to take materials from there as needed. Westside Electrical as well. So she had the authority to do that.
Well, I think what I'm trying to say is that the committee, all the members are volunteers, and they are all working. Most of them.
Yeah.
So they don't really have time to do day-to-day.
Yeah.
There needs to be somebody day-to-day.
No, definitely we need to fill that gap.
But in my view, needs to be a manager who can make decisions. And if the decision is wrong and there's a problem, then the person has to present it and has to be responsible for it. That's their job. But otherwise, it's constant. Well, I have to get back to the committee. The committee is not telling me, and I'm waiting and I'm waiting. No, this thing can't work that way. It used to work that way, and it was a disaster, which is why we got rid of it. And this now, this girl came in, and I find it's the same thing again.
Well, but I mean, at the
Brian, can I jump in there? Let me jump in for a second there. I don't think it's exactly the same. Previous with previous manager, there was almost no oversight. It was a free for all. with Charisse in place, there was a lot of oversight, and she was very professional. I actually enjoyed working with Charisse a lot. And seeing her, I'll finish. And seeing her leave was very sad to see her go. And yes, I agree. We need to get somebody with similar skills. I don't know how we're going to get it, but we'll have to try to get it. And yes, there needs to be a little bit more autonomy in that role. There's no issue there. There needs to be a bit more autonomy so things can move faster.
And be responsible. I mean, I'm saying she could sit down in a meeting and have to defend these things. And if it's a monthly meeting or as a Zoom, just deal with it. But I think it would really management committee, and I cite as an example, next door to them, they put in this, whatever it is, food thing. I'm walking and I'm seeing this thing going up. And I said, but that cannot be. Well, it cannot be because it is. And the truth is that without Charisse, these people just went right back and do their own thing. And then now we had to intervene and ultimately try to get it done. Yeah. Okay. That's how the association is supposed to work in a certain sense. But the manager could have stopped that and dealt with it properly before anything had got out of hand. And I'm concerned, and our goal has been, that once we set precedents inside here, trouble, and we are not quite there halfway yet. So imagine if we had to double this and we have precedents in place, you know the problem that we have in this country.
What about using a generator while you're throughout the whole building of your house for the entire without dealing with
a generator going
if that happens next to me, that's not happening.
That is madness.
Well, at the beginning, maybe for the week or two, but they're using the entire building. That's crazy.
Yeah, the dodging approvals to get.
Well, it's not fair on the neighbors. It's not fair on the neighbors.
So they're not supposed to be using generators. And this was only brought to my attention about a week ago.
That will kill you.
But then,
I've had 8 months.
What will
this is 8 months in.
Yeah.
If you are now aware of this kind of madness.
Yeah,
But the point,
but the thing is, somebody should have said something. Nobody said anything to us.
No, but when we question it,
Yeah.
our dear friend, the contractor, says that Wausau won't give them a connection, or
That's not
T-Tech
true.
will not give
That's
them a
not
connection.
okay, so they didn't.
No, there's not a
They
very
do
connection
that,
there.
that's how it works in Tobago all the time.
That's
It's
all.
not in-
I think when somebody's building a property, which used to happen when I was building mine, we couldn't find where something
You wanted
to do with our sewer, and I called Maria, and immediately Kevin Kenny was up at my house and showed my work away
Right.
on the spot in 5 minutes at 8 o'clock in the morning. No delay, nothing, and it was properly done.
Another thing too, when like houses like this one here that never built, right? Should be made to remove
Yeah, so we
Yes,
we
exactly.
that,
Yeah.
right? I mean, regardless
So
of
that I
the
thought,
vision,
yeah.
then like the house past me, that looks like they've run out of money.
No, that's actually no. That's
Do they
a
have a time
separate
limit to build though?
Yeah, but actually there was a issue with regards to part of the construction there, and we issued a stop notice on that house. So that's why.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
But they are going to resume this month.
Okay, but they should also block it in.
Yeah.
Which they did.
Well, actually, part of the problem on that is that the contractor had a major illness, and he's unable to work again. So they were kind of scrambling right now to find the next contractor as well. So that was a kind of twofold issue with that house.
Can an overture be made back to Charisse to reinstate maybe a different terms and conditions
I think so.
that might be a benefit?
We could look at it, but based on the resignation letter that she sent to us in terms of the reason she gave for leaving.
That was
Well,
just
tell
one of
me
the
more
reasons.
about that.
That was one of the reasons.
Yeah, we could reach out to them, but that's one of the reasons. But what I'm saying, based on what was conveyed to us and the reason for leaving, I don't think. I mean, I don't know if it's possible. We could talk about it.
Please don't.
Yeah, because Julian and I have conducted interviews. We have actually reached the point where, okay, coming on Tuesday or coming on Monday, we did the interviews and everything, and they just never showed up. Guessing, I mean, for those of you who own
She
businesses,
would be prepared to come back.
We would love.
Would you be open to that? Was she working?
Brian, can I step in? Can I step in for a second?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ian, Ian, one of the first things I personally said to Charisse is that, yes, we would like to get back. There's no question about it, because as you know, I know she's not an engineer, but she has a lot of construction and practical experience, and she has an eye for detail. And that's what we needed. Yes, that door is open, for sure. And I think Brent would agree with me with that, won't you, Brent?
Even if it's a case that we could maybe engage her as a consultant, with regards to when it comes
But you need somebody here.
Right, so we're that point. We will try again.
Someone trying to go, yeah? Oh, all right. Yeah. Huh? Yeah. All right, so, you could, oh, she on already? Yeah. Okay, so I think we have Melissa, so from one channel, we'll be doing, the websites demo for us. You can unmute.
Okay.
Melissa, you wanna just unmute your? Melissa, could you just unmute your? Right. All right,
Yes,
so.
hi everyone. Good morning.
Hi, morning. So what would she need to do to get her screen on? All right, so Melissa, you will need to share your screen in order to do the demo, right?
Sure, no problem. I'm about to share, okay?
Yeah.
Is my screen visible? Is everyone seeing it?
Not as yet.
No, it's white.
Okay, all right.
And not showing on.
It's currently a white screen.
Well,
Okay.
there's a screen up. No, there's a screen up.
It's a share code.
I think
We are
it
not
might
seeing
be
it.
a problem with my.
Melissa, is that the one that says login?
Yes, yes.
I see.
Or maybe I can try sharing again if everyone is not seeing it, okay?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. I think we're gonna get something, sorry. Yeah, mine's up there for actually.
Is everyone seeing now? I'm sharing, currently sharing.
Just now, 1 second.
Okay, all right, no problem. I'm sorry.
The laptop that is showing the.
Yeah, and not my person.
Very nice.
So,
That's right. I just remember.
Can you confirm when the screen is visible, okay?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm seeing it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I think online, folks are saying it, just, the office may not be seeing it.
Oh, I understand. Once they're able to see it and they confirm, I will proceed.
Okay.
all right, Melissa, I think we're good to go there.
Okay, all right, thank you.
So we're just gonna do a quick demo. Guys, we're just gonna do a quick demo of the website. Just to reiterate, this is not the finished website, right? We should have the finished polished website in about a week or two, but this is just to kind of give you a feel of what to expect, right? All right, Melissa, go ahead.
Okay, all right, so just giving a quick run through of what we have so far. Okay, so this is the homepage. And it just would display some, like a dashboard, some information, some basic information. You know, we have here at the bottom, we have this live update strip here. So it would indicate to you when you have, you know, an upcoming meeting, when, you know, there's a schedule, something like that would be happening, like a scheduled power outage, or maybe water is going to be cut off. Just to give some examples, like what a scheduled cutoff for water or something that would affect the community, it will be displayed on this strip here that says live update. And also below that, this is on the homepage, just to reiterate, we would have the ad strips here where where you can generate income, where, you know, you want to play somebody would want to advertise on your website, and the ads would be placed here, and it would in turn generate income because they would have to pay for, you know, displaying their ads on the website. Okay, so any questions so far, or I can move forward? Could move forward?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, all right, so general information. This would contain just general information on, you know, the Samaan Grove Community Association, and, you know, this menu item, Occidental Investment Limited. It would just give a brief overview of the Samaan Grove community. Right, it's just just information being displayed that can be read through. This menu item would give information about the Samaan Grove Community Association, the Management Committee, and the Milan Security. I think currently we don't have any information here, but once it is made readily available, it will be included on the website. In this menu item under General Information Rentals, this would list all the current property that is available for rent. This is just some stock information that was included here. But again, once it is made readily available, it will be updated accordingly on the website. Any questions so far?
My question is raised with respect to the publicizing of rental properties like this, which is good. And I'm sure there are many people who will be quite happy for this. But it also raises the whole question of security and how we enforce the rules and regulations within Samaan Grove as the population of renters increases, because those of us who are living here sometimes have we have the problem of having people partying next door.
Right, so what we'll do is we'll address that question afterwards. I just finish the move, and then we can finish that after.
Okay, all right, proceeding.
Sorry, I just wanted to put that into the website.
Yeah.
That whatever the controls are, those have to be very clear so that you see them, but you're also very aware of the rules and regulations.
So basically, if you go through more details, basically the rules and regulations will be uploaded into the website and will be segregated by homeowners, rentals, persons who are constructing. So as it was said earlier, it will be a one-stop shop where no matter what category you fall in, for you to get information on the website. So your concern is noted, and they are actually going to upload that.
Fair, thank you.
Okay, proceeding. We have community updates where information will be displayed on any updates, you know, within the community. We have here the governing documents and policies where the homeowner or rental properties can see the current governing policies that, you know, are implemented by Samaan Grove Association. They can read it through here, or if for convenience, they can download a PDF version of it that they can read it on their device at their leisure. And that is for both for homeowner, and there is also for rental properties as well. right? So they have the option to download it as a PDF as well. So they can always have a copy. The newsletters, this is where if you'll have a newsletter or any information for a newsletter, it will be updated in the newsletter. So I think it's currently blank. Right, so a PDF version would be uploaded, and again, it can be downloaded as a PDF version to read at their leisure. Sorry about that.
So the current newsletter.
Yes.
Morning, Trisha, and yeah.
I think they do it right away.
Yeah.
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 Trisha, right.
Okay. Can I proceed?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so we have homeowner meetings, which is important here. We have a calendar where events within the community could be uploaded. So as you can see today, there is a meeting, I'm guessing is this meeting that was scheduled, and it would be updated on the calendar for viewing. And also it can be subscribed to by clicking subscribe to calendar, where the members could subscribe so they will receive the updates on their phone on any upcoming events, scheduled upcoming events or meetings. They would receive the updates on their phone, and based on the settings, they would probably get it 1 day before, or an hour before, or 10 minutes before, so they will not miss any scheduled events. So under proceeding to the development review, we have under design, we have the approved design process that users can read through to see the actual process. Here are these documents, the required documents for submission. And we have quite a few floor plans of the approved designs for the community. And this also would be updated as information becomes readily available. And then design approval, this is currently blank, but once we have that information, it will be included on the design approval to show the process, step-by-step process. Under construction, we have I'm sorry?
In the context of the approval process.
Yes, the approval process.
I am suggesting that, and I don't know who's going to furnish it as such, but it seems to me that people will get an approval and then go and do the opposite or do as they please. And somewhere along the line, I would like to see a specific clause that anything that goes contradictory.
Ian,
hold a minute, and you will penalize financially and legally at your expense.
Yeah.
So there's no doubt.
Somebody should be spot checking every stage of a building.
Right. Remember, we write it down because Montana has a certain time frame, but it should be done. So that's why we just write it down.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
How long you go forget?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so we have included the construction forms on the website that the user can go to and fill out, which would eliminate the paper and pen based system, and they forgot to submit this document or documents being lost and all of that. We have this version here where they would fill out the information, all the required information, and they would be able to upload a digital copy of the required documents. For instance, this one, the worker identification card, and yes, and they would have to include any extra pertinent information like the name of the extra workers. And they also have the facility of, if they're using a mobile device or anything with a touchpad, they can include their signature and just sign on in the required field here, or they can use their mouse and sign here as well. And then when they click continue, it will be submitted to the relevant personnel for them to for it to be approved for for the form, wherever the form has to go to for approval based on the form that they fill out. In this case, this form is the construction registration. So I'm just backtracking a bit. We have all the forms readily available: the construction registration form, the inspection request, and the security access for after hours, those forms if they need to fill out these forms. So that's it for the construction forms. Moving forward under legal, we have all the information here under legal with the steps for reselling your property, the resale process, any legal information that is appended to this. It will be displayed under the legal tab. So just scrolling down a bit.
Excuse, are lawyers being vetting this so that you're quite legal in the context?
So basically, these are the steps that homeowners have followed over the last how many years to do resales, property sales. So yes, these are things that were shared with various law firms in Trinidad and Tobago. And as the years go by, we fill out whatever the regulatory requirements you need. So it's not that we just pulled it out. These are things that you need, like financial clearance, your construction waiver. So at the end of the day, this little section here, what normally happens is a homeowner will call me directly and I will walk them through step by step. This will take away from that and they can be self-guided as to what they need to provide, what documents they need to get, make it easier for them to sell to another homeowner. So so all parties will know they have to go to WASA, they have to go to TNT, they have to get all these things from Occidental and bring it together in one. So yes, it has been sort of vetted by attorneys because this is the guide that attorneys use right now. So
that is lawyer versus lawyer. If their lawyer is in case and ours is not so to speak, then we will try the best to.
Well, right now, because the memorandum of lease is the overriding document that guides everything, there's not much leeway for them to bypass anything.
Trisha, I think you can probably just jump to the member section and just touch on that before you wrap up.
Pardon me?
Yeah, you want to just jump on?
Okay.
All right, yeah, just jump to the member section.
Okay.
Touch on that before you wrap up.
Yeah. Okay, so the member section, this is where members of the community can register so they can be listed as members of the community and also log into the website and be privy to privileged information and practices. So they would have to indicate a username, their first name, last name, email address, and they list their person type, whether they're a homeowner or property agent, and they would have to indicate their property number and a password, a desired password, and they would have to repeat the password as a first level of security in order to register. If the email address is not recognized in the database, they would not, the membership would not be created.
Good.
So when we log in, when we hit login, if you're a registered member and you enter your information, this is just some test information that would be removed after. And they hit login, they would be able to log into the website and they would be able to post comments and be privy to certain information. And again, the email address would be tied to the subscriber of the calendar. So once the verification process is complete, they would be able to log in to the website.
Right, Trisha, that's the kind of expand on what you were talking about with the member area. That's what I was talking about earlier, where you will be able to see your statements, you'll be able to see the audited financials and stuff.
That's very good.
Yeah, and also what we are looking at, once we have the website up and running, we're going to look into the option of creating a payment section where you can pay your homeowner fees via the website as well.
Okay.
So that should make it a lot easier. I mean, I know most of us do bank transfers now, but this will make it even simpler.
As a monthly as well as a lease?
Yeah, well, no, release is to YL.
So
Yeah,
the
yeah,
lease
so,
for the
yeah.
And that could not be filed to them.
No, you would have to pay the lease directly to YL. Yeah.
Quarterly payments.
Yes.
But we have to pay for Samaan Grove.
Yes, phase we pay the Samaan Grove, yeah. Yeah, so for phase, you all will be able to pay, but so based on the lot number, we would know, how to set it up. But
So, Ian, what will happen is under the Occidental Investments page, we will have the A lots direct to OIL, so you can liaise with them for your lease rent payment one time. So we will try to build it in, but the banking information, if you're paying, it will not be going to Occidental, because it will be coming to us for our service charge and lease rent for B lots.
yeah.
Okay, but is it that we send to you and you take out your service charge and then send it to them?
No, we continue to pay. So all we are doing is adding another way, another payment method for you to pay your service charge.
Yeah.
I think
So-
that
We try to make it as simple as possible.
is a good idea.
The reason you will see, as I said, the website is under construction right now. All the fields there just to add the information, our information. And the reason that it's not added yet is what we're trying to do is make it as simple as possible, not too wordy, because then nobody wants to read pages up on pages, right? So we're just trying to get the pertinent information, make it as user friendly as possible.
Right.
So
And building workflow, so you're not just reading words, but you'll actually be able to fill out your forms, you'll be able to pull in the information, you'll be able to directly communicate with mainland security to tell them about your guests and all of those things. So we're trying to digitize the different workflows.
Yeah. So we can, we're even looking at eventually as well. We can discuss it with Mr. Batiste. And for those of you who don't know, this is Mr. Batiste, head of mainland security, who has been doing a pretty good job so far. Yeah, so we can even look at setting up something like a screen in the security booth. So that you have an issue, you send the message there, the guard might be able to pick it up one time if they don't get them on the phone, which we usually do get them on the phone. But just but just as a extra measure, as additional measure. Yeah. And as I said, I think once this website, based on what we have so far, once we finish it, and we can get the homeowners to advertise their houses on the website, it is going to generate a nice amount of traffic on the site and make it attractive to businesses to advertise as well, So those are with water sports, restaurants, all that kind of stuff, you can advertise on the website. Yeah. All right, Trisha, thanks very much for that demo. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Trisha.
Okay. No problem.
Melissa, I don't know you have to shut up.
That's okay. That's okay.
So,
Okay,
last question.
Yeah, okay, so now
We're
we're
gonna
going
do what he said.
This brings us to the end of our presentation.
yeah, so this will bring us to the end of our presentation. Mr. Batista.
Okay, good morning. Morning, everyone. Thanks for inviting me. But a few things. For the past 7 years, this has been that long already.
Wow.
Since mainland security has been with Samaan Grove, we have seen a lot of changes. I think we came in at the time when it was very, very rough. And based on the homeowners evaluate us. But if we have to evaluate ourselves, we think at this point, things has been much better. All right. We always keep room for improvement. All right. What is important to note is that the environment seems to improve in relation to renters. All right, it seems to improve. The noise pollution, we are not at a point where it's zero, but it seems to be more manageable. And I'm saying manageable because we are having persons listening to us and responding much quicker. Before, we had persons ignoring us, and where we have to actually get the police involved. Things like that has been a while since we have engaged any police, external police officers to help manage the noise pollution.
Mr. what is contributing to that? Is it human being change, or is it rules change, or you're enforcing it better, or you have a better system? What is responsible?
People know.
Or is it COVID?
It's because
COVID
I think just to give an overall answer to that, the type of renters, I believe, change.
In what way?
There are persons that persons renting their homes too, you know, because that's a quickly try to forget. I heard it earlier on where we have persons walking on properties.
Yes.
To this day.
To this day, renters. All right, that's one of the challenges I have.
Stealing fruit.
All right.
Stealing fruits and.
Depending on, so the dynamics change where we have rentals before partying, live noise, that kind of stuff. Even at that period, we had some of those renters, they'll walk the property and for viewing to see, well, the next time I come here, it's very nice. I want to stay here. And if they see the gate open, they'll walk in. And some instances, we have persons will actually pick up something that they see maybe on the ground or something like that.
Oh, that's true.
All right. Now we have less of the noise, but the increase in walkers. All right. So my guys will have to be on the ground. They'll be, excuse me, no. That's right. No, but just taking a look. Excuse me, no, you cannot do that. Respect other person's property. You know, in relation to Mr. Parker. You know, we have nobody external today who come into the property to see Mr. Parker nice coconuts and say, okay.
I supply all of you.
But so long we have, and I was teaching the guys, I said, depending on the group of persons and how they're reacting when they first arrive on the compound, we said, okay, let's keep a closer eye on this room. You know, I said, why are we treating, segregating that way? No, we have to do that sometime. Keep a closer eye, and sometimes you're not wrong. So for instance, Mr. Parker, the last group that tamper with your stuff, you know, I know Mr. Brent, you normally caution me by saying, sir, you can't just have your officer saying one part of the location because there are other parts of the location to cover and not many of you want. But sometimes we have to stay in an area longer than we normally should, which is a disadvantage for your home or your home or your home, because this group of persons doesn't appear to conform with the rules that we are asked them to. You know, so for that instance, after 1 o'clock in the morning, an officer stayed right outside Mr. Parker. But it's 1 o'clock, that areas need to be covered. So I'll be moved by the time we want to reach Mr. Parker, nice punch board. So they're in the home and they're waiting us out. Yeah. Oh, well, they will be there too. And as we move, they insist that those coconuts, we have to get them today. You know, we apologize, Mr. Parker, and to the committee.
The process of putting cameras on catch them. Catch them.
So along that line.
Catch them, it's police and one. When they make a 19 deal, they will learn.
So along that line, let's go back to the noise pollution. And I need the committee and the homeowners to hear what we do and guide accordingly. Normally, based on the regulations, 11 o'clock is the cutoff point. Mainland security, we adjust that in the sense that even before 11 o'clock, based on the level of noise, we approach that guest.
Very good.
You know, there's an advice given to me, Mr. Otis, why don't you wait until a homeowner or somebody next door complains? But
No.
it really, for me, if I do that, it could get out of control, it gets harder to deal with.
Totally agree.
You know, so what I teach my officers is, okay, between 6 o'clock or whatever, everybody's outside, the place is nice, okay, all right. But by the time 7 o'clock reach, we start to zoom in. We keep a close eye on it. And if you see somebody come outside, excuse me, good afternoon, good evening, or just minding you, you have neighbors, we all have to coexist, we start nudging them from early o'clock. All right, and what I said the environment changes and the renters before, by 10 or 9, it raised because they don't want to get the action going. Maybe the consumption or whatever, they're drinking the water system really nice and they really start to want the party. But now when we speak to them, we really have them listening. And we hope, yes, all right? So let's get that my opening remarks.
And I think on behalf of the association, and I mean for myself, the side here, we have definitely seen an improvement in terms of security. And also, one thing I must highlight is the response time of Mr. Ortiz on a personal level. If there's a major incident in summer, I always joke, Mr. Ortiz lives behind the wall right in the back there because once I call him, he is on site within a few minutes, which is something that we really appreciate. I mean, the officers, they do their jobs, they're very friendly, they interact very well with us. So we appreciate that. And I will just have to say back afterwards so we can chat about the way forward and stuff like that, right? But thanks on behalf of the entire association.
Agree.
Yeah. Thanks.
Anyone?
One thing,
Yeah.
the speeding.
Yeah.
And I think we need to have on the second bridge.
Okay, so on the second bridge, no problem.
And then in between, we have a certain night goes. If you see how they speed around there, it's on the bend.
Maybe somebody can do an assessment of where an additional
No,
number.
it's not. Yes.
We need one person to look at that's all.
Yeah.
So
Between the goes and absence.
okay.
Right.
And I check others because I need.
Yeah.
But that's the most important one.
Well, I would want to keep down by me,
To me.
because there's a stretch there that they slow down for the hump.
Right.
And then they speed to the next one, which is right by you.
So what we'll do is
I think it's fine.
as Ian said, what we'll do is we will do an assessment of where, I know obviously we can't put the hump in front of everybody else, right? But on the stretch, we will definitely, yeah.
It's now,
The what?
it's probably you all did that already. Like each hump
Right,
is specs they use.
right.
But they're just certain spots that you have to add another one.
Okay, so, yeah, we'll
So
definitely.
how it's done, how it's done,
Yeah,
you
it's
use
like
specs.
anywhere there, it's not
Yeah.
for me, it's just like you speed there. And I can't get out anymore with my
Okay.
leg to scream at them.
Yeah, so speeding, we'll definitely look into that. Yeah, that's fine. I think someone has a question on it.
Yeah, in the event of a possible break-in.
Yeah.
Is it part of the remit of the company that, if the procedures, can you call the guard and say, look, there's a hair disturbance in my backyard. Is it a part of the procedure that the security can come on and make a patrol of the area?
Yeah, they do.
I'll tell you why.
Right. I'll
My
give you
wife woke up at 12 o'clock, said she thought she heard a noise in the back. And obviously, the first thing she did was call the security and said, look, it's 1 o'clock, she's saying a noise. Could someone come and just make a walk around with a torchlight
Right.
around the property and see see what was going on. Is that a fixed procedure? That's still
yeah, I think that's definitely that has been done.
And this is recorded that the proof that a company in the logbook, yes, log that a homeowner reported
yeah, Mr. Batista will be able to answer that.
Yes, it is. I think the incident that you're speaking about, I must apologize, I must have fell down on that one.
Okay.
The falling down is feedback. So responded, went and checked, and then when they call and said, "Sir, this is what happened," I said, "Right, good. Did you call back the homeowner and said to the owner what you did?"
Yeah.
No, sir. But then the fact it didn't happen. I said, so even though it's written and I can see it, there must be the back and forth. You understand? So now I'm saying, I do apologize for that, because in your mind, it's like, did it happen? You understand?
Yeah.
So you want to make your physical patrol and you check and you realize all this time, but you need to call back.
Mr. Matisse, if you call came from the last house in the road, is it the guy in the car who is going on there?
No, the control.
Yes, I know, because I walk in the dark and I see the patrol all the time.
Well, one other thing, on the weekend, I see you driving by around the but then recently you driving around at night too. You can't work Saturday into Sunday.
No, that's, I normally do that. It's a method of keeping on top of my guys. I need to see what they are saying.
Just add it on.
Yeah, I need to see what
But
they are
still, I mean, from what I don't know why you drive around. If what the contract says, but like I would imagine it's at night. Yeah, the mobile patrol, not the first one, the car one, vehicle one. But like on a Saturday or a Sunday, after lunch or the afternoon, I see you driving around as well.
Yes, it's all part of.
Really need that or just at night?
I see own business. That's what you do.
If you're doing this, I mean, you would do it at night, just stay away.
No,
That's what it all means.
Yeah.
Can't work all day and then work all night.
And you know what, that lets the staff know that they don't know when he's gonna be on patrol.
All right, so guys, we want to do just to kind of open up the forum to those viewing online. We don't want to think it's just us in here asking questions. So if there's anyone viewing via Zoom that has any questions that they want to raise, now would be the time to do so. They can unmute and use the raise hand option. No one? Okay, good. All right, so we have someone back in person.
Just a few questions on the website. Would the board get access to, is there Google Analytics on the webpage?
Yeah.
So you have all the data?
Yeah.
Is the website fully mobile compatible?
Yeah, yes it is.
And do you, the board, have access to update the website from the back end, like with all the web companies?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
All right, we'll just have a few questions.
Yep.
That's it.
Cool. All right. I see one hand raising back there. Hi.
Hi, I'm Mrs. DeCarry from 155.
Hi.
I just wanted to find out something. When we built, we're on the corner by the first bridge.
All right.
We were not able to build, there's no gutter in there. And we were told that the house had to be drained towards the lake.
All right.
So that the runoff from the lane would go into the lake. And I've noticed recently, close to the where the light post was put in, where the coconut trees on the side of the lake. That's normally where the water would run. Now there's a vacant lot next to me.
Yeah.
But the water's going nowhere now because the land has there's a mound now.
Right.
But there's nowhere for the water to access itself to get into the lake. So during the heavy rains that we had, my entire driveway was constantly flooded, but the water was just not going anywhere. I had tried to get the trees, but nobody, I didn't know what was going on. So I just want to know if someone could have a look at it.
Sure.
To see, because I know the one on the opposite side runs square way.
Right. And you're on 55?
We're 55.
Okay, so I'll make a note of that and we'll check it out.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, much okay. Right, I think Mr. Batista has something. Okay, no problem.
Brad.
Yeah.
3 things.
Yeah.
1, first off, I know the story well. Thank you guys for all your voluntary service. I know it's very, not very highly rewarding. But it is totally fun for us. But nevertheless, somebody has to do it. And I certainly appreciate it very much. Appreciate it. So well done. I find stuff is going on quite well. Insofar as the trees in this place, you know, I've had a problem with trees.
Yeah.
The problem with the trees is that we're trying now to resolve, perhaps in the context of all of this, that whenever somebody's going to build or they're going to plant, there is some sort of a control or restriction. Trees that are already existing as part of
but going forward, yeah.
But if only there would be something in place that the owners of the properties would respect the boundaries of their neighbors, because trees that are going into the neighbor's yard and depositing every leaf, flower, pod, seed, call it what you want. And I'm down with from 6 of the largest trees in Samaan Grove, and my house for 6 months a year, it's now starting again. Pods, flowers, leaves, and twigs, and otherwise, constant. I mean, it's like as if we are snowed up on every day. Our cars, we are.
Bedrooms, sheets, the linen is all covered in.
It's really terrible.
You don't know what to do again. Try talking to
But
them.
maybe
and so on.
maintain the trees, do something. Even if you trim them, something.
Yeah.
But at least show that you're at least concerned. We get nothing. All we get is bombarded every single day.
I'd like to add to that. There's a massive tree next to my yard in the vacant lot. And that sent on like an orange berry. And around my yard, I have concrete slabs that I maintain. And I'll tell you what, they turn them to black and it's hard to get out. And I had asked Teresa if I was willing to pay someone to trim the tree. And she said, well, I have to contact the homeowner of that land. And I said, well, you know, I don't see why I can't cut what's hanging over in my yard. I'm not a response.
Yeah, I think if it's hanging over your yard, you know, if what's hanging over your yard, what's your lot number?
I'll tell you what, number 8. It's growing quite big actually.
Okay.
It's just a small tree, but it's really massive now. And obviously, it's going to take a man to all that endeavor to get right to the top of that tree.
All right.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah. All right. And I think I have 3rd point here.
I said trees.
Oh, okay, all right. Cool.
What else trees?
Those 6 trees.
Right, yeah.
I
mean, we went as far as we reached out to a professor in UWI about the trees and what could be done about it and stuff. I think she shared that communication with you. So in terms of how to try to deal with it, in terms of the prudent.
It's just the owner be responsible. The owner would just say, I will trim the tree or whatever.
Well, we could probably do this, write them and explain to them.
Well, Ian, that particular lot, that's lot 36, right?
Sorry?
That's lot 36. So
It's
that,
32, 34, 36. There's 6 of these trees.
right.
And I am down with all of them.
So lot 32 and 34 are in the middle of a resale, so
Okay.
it will be
Yeah,
new
it's
homeowners, and lot 36 is currently up for sale, so we can try again with the new homeowners.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I'm saying
Anybody
that.
who builds there are gonna have to cut the trees down for the night.
Okay, but I'm just saying as a general rule, people who live in here, could they be controlled? Because there are many people who have fruit trees that are coming into somebody else's yard. They're very messy things.
Yeah.
And I didn't ask for that tree to be there. I like them. They're very lovely trees.
They belong in a summer.
But surely we could control in future new trees being planted so we don't have this problem all the time.
All
We have some meetings about those trees.
Yeah.
We discuss it, but I know people for those 2 lots. So we can really reach out to them and so we could show them what that's
But I
I'm saying that
that
rule
gives a
is
struggle
that-
is there is one touch, which is not sold.
No, that's about it. It's so there. But if someone interested in that lot.
There's somebody.
There's somebody, yeah.
If someone.
Okay.
We still have to take our cars regularly. Yeah, they want to say
That's trouble, very trouble. But so it doesn't have to others, that's right.
Yeah, fair enough. No, that's an excellent point.
It's hard.
All right, anyone else has anything? Because I think we kind of went over our time.
We over. Yeah, we over.
The last one was what next? Are we going to have this on a regular basis, like every 6 months, or are we going to just have it as it comes?
Well, yeah, the goal is always to have it every 6 months, twice a year. We normally try to have it twice a year. Yeah, so we're going to reinstate that now. We will set
Every 6 months is good.
Yeah, and I think, so far the hybrid option kind of working well. We will sit and review it afterwards.
No, it's very good.
Yeah.
The real truth is that too many people are guessing what's going on.
Correct.
We talk in back porch. And that was all good.
Yeah. Also, on the website, when we upload the newsletters, we normally send out newsletters, and I know not everyone reads them. But please, I mean, there's a lot of effort goes into the community and is reflected in the newsletters. And if you read your reading newsletters, it will clear up a lot of questions.
That is true.
It might obviously don't clear up all, but it will clear up a lot, right?
Yeah, that is very true. A newsletter is a passive thing.
Yeah.
You need some interaction, and that's
exactly. Yeah. So what we will do probably within a month, we will send out an email with the dates for the next meeting, lower in the second half of the year.
Are you all open to an approach to Sharice?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But if I approach her, I am approaching her to be a manager with a responsibility.
Well, I think we will approach Sharice.
You will do that?
Yeah, we will approach her. Yeah.
I would suggest that if the responsibilities to be improved, and also maybe if she needs more money, maybe that is something that has to be considered.
Okay.
The point made is we have no money right now.
Yeah.
I don't see anybody on the horizon.
Yeah.
And we really do need somebody on the.
Agreed.
Honestly,
you appreciate the quiet because I am handling a lot of the responsibilities right now. So
it took us over a year to convince her to take this job.
Right. Okay.
Because she was so well qualified for it.
Yeah.
And we were quite pissed off that she left. And a lot of it has to do with the lack of giving her the responsibility and the money to do what had to be done in here.
Right.
I know her personally, and I will tell you, and I didn't know half what was going on until after she left. Because she wasn't telling everybody what was going on. I know she has her personal problems, and I know exactly what it is.
Yeah.
But that, if she had backing and a little help, she would have stayed, I'm sure. But she felt that she just was battling all the time and getting nowhere.
Okay, well, we appreciate that information because that wasn't what was conveyed to us.
No,
so,
she's not that type of person, but she really, and it was only, and it wasn't something she came out with easily.
Yeah. So we will sit, we'll have a chat about it. Yeah.
Because we went through two that were no good.
Correct.
Right? And we don't want to go through that again.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you for the meeting.
Right.
Okay, correct.
Thank everyone for coming in and thanks for those who logged in online as well. All right. Okay, so you're not allowed there, right? Rest of the management.
Yep.
We appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Brent. Thanks, Brent. We'll talk later, okay?
You're